Hello witches! I am back for my last video in this series. These are my top fives. This is a video response to She Who Walks Between Worlds. She did her top fives for a couple of different things. I split mine up into a couple of different videos, and this is my top 5 crystals. So let's just get right to it. My first one is Lapis Lazuli, which kind of makes sense since my YouTube channel is Lapis Lorelei, you know, kind of makes sense, yeah. But, so, I don't know if you can see that, but that is Lapis Lazuli. Lapis is sometimes easily confused with sodalite, but the biggest difference that you can tell between sodalite and lapis is that sodalite does not have the little bits of fool's gold. I can't remember what the actual name of fool's gold is, but the little bits of gold bands running through them, whereas lapis does. So yeah, that's the difference. Lapis, for me, I use it for spiritual growth, self-awareness, and expression. And it was one of the first stones that I ever felt an affinity with. And that's why it's kind of top of my list. What's interesting is that I really only have one lapis stone, and it's this one. I really should get more of it. It's also very expensive, so that's probably why I only have the one, because it's expensive. The next one is Jade. Now this is one of my 2 pendulums. This is the first pendulum I ever bought. This was one of my first purchases after I decided to start practicing. But that is my Jade pendulum. Jade is great for purification, balance, nourishment. It kind of purifies and balances in like a nourishing way, I guess. It's got a very gentle, calming energy to it, at least in my experience, which when I've looked online, my experience seems to be in line with others' experience with the same stone. It's a subtle stone. It's not in your face. Unlike my next one, which is Malachite. Malachite is kind of an in-your-face stone, at least in my experience. It's also a balancing stone. It's a stone of abundance. You might notice that I have quite a few green stones in my favorites, and there's a reason for that. I feel the need for a lot of balance. I feel like I kind of go every which way, and I need that balancing energy to kind of bring me back. So this is my little malachite heart. I love my malachite heart. Yeah. I love the way the bands on this thing are. I have a couple other pieces of malachite, but this is probably my favorite piece just because of the way the bands kind of work their way around the heart. But malachite is kind of like, it's more in your face about the balancing. It's balancing. It's supposed to be able to clear and activate all your chakras, and it doesn't do so subtly. Like it just kind of like does it, you know. It's in your face about it. My next favorite stone is Selenite. It's interesting because a lot of people probably would expect me to have quartz on my top 5s list, and although it is up there, the reason I didn't include it is because you know, there's a term that comes to mind, and I can't remember the full thing, but it's like something of everything, master of none type of thing. Like, yes, quartz is an all-purpose stone, and it's great for a lot of stuff, and you can kind of program it any way you want, but it's one of those, like, if it's not pre-programmed for anything, so I almost kind of feel like it's just kind of one of those, like, it's cool, it's there, but it's like the solid B student, you know? Like, I don't know how else to put it. So I think I'd rather find, like, it's great in a pinch, but I'd rather find, like, if I'm looking for a specific purpose, like, I'd rather find the actual, a stone specific for that, I guess. Anyway, getting back to selenite. Selenite is great at being protective, but I actually use it for cleansing and activating my other stones more often than not. I have a little cleansanite orb that I keep around. I have this on like a little pedestal that I keep in my bathroom. I've got a little window behind the toilet, and I've got some stones like set up on display on the windowsill, and so I keep this there to kind of help, you know, keep all those stones kind of cleansed and doing the job they're supposed to be doing. So that's there. So yeah. I also actually have this huge, I don't have it in this room, but I have this larger, it's actually like a candle holder. That's what it's meant to do. But it's a selenite like block that's had, you know, a chunk drilled out to hold a candle, like a votive candle. But I actually use it when I get new stones that are like this size. I just, you know, chuck them in there for 24 hours or something like that to cleanse them and charge them and get them ready for their intended purpose. So yeah, that's selenite for you. And last but not least, this is the largest crystal I own. It's the most expensive crystal I own, and it is the Mac Daddy of all crystals. I don't see myself ever owning anything larger than this unless I get one of those huge crystals that sit on the ground and never move it, which would be awesome, but I don't see myself ever being able to afford one of those because they're like thousands of dollars. But this is my obsidian orb, and of course it protects against negativity. It draws out mental stress and tension. You've got to constantly keep these guys cleansed and cleared. But I actually bought this beauty to use as a scrying orb. I haven't had a chance to use it for that purpose yet, but it's a Mac Daddy. It's pretty awesome. It's huge. I mean, you can kind of see, but it's really big, you know. And you can kind of you can see in the reflection. That's my phone and the window that I'm, you know, using to film. This thing is large. Oh, I'm gonna hurt myself trying to hold it. So yeah, those are my top 5 crystals. And this is the end of my top 5s mini series. So I hope you enjoyed it. And I would love to hear from you guys what your top 5s are. If you decide to do a video about this, please let me know so I can see your video. And feel free to drop some comments on this video or any of the other ones I've posted. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Blessed be, and I will see you guys next time.